It's a big responsibility to be asked to be the keynote speaker. Keynote, you remember in the orchestra, the keynote is what the conductor says and says, oh, setting the tone. So I'm not planning to try or even want to set a tone I believe is right. I'll just suggest that the tone of our discussion, which has already been stated by this very enthusiastic presentation of the British Hellenic Chamber and Danai, needs to be two things in hard times. One thing is to be pragmatic, realistic, understand the world we live, understand the difficulties because we are in hard times, but also have the vision and the deep sight to look through the darkness, through the fog, and find and sustain our enthusiasm and optimism and clarity to go forward successfully as we have done for so long. So I would like us to adopt is be realistic, see the issues and the problems, and look through them and lead our lives positively in the future. As an introduction, probably I will touch upon the four things which are in the program. One thing is piracy, the other is market trends, the other is education, and then we have technologies. I think that as we talk about piracy, which is a result of a socioeconomic evolution and situation, when we talk about markets, which are also a result of socioeconomic dynamics, it's worth starting our discussion about talking about the foundation, which is the economy and the social state we are in. I want to write the word economy in Greek. Economy is coming of two words. One word is ekos, which means our house, our home, our nature, our environment. Ekos and nomos. Nomos is a law, is order, is whatever controls the balances. So economia in Greek is the law of nature, is the law of balances, is the law of God. And I'm saying that because I think it's worthwhile to compare what economia was and what economia has declined to be now. Economia was the law of nature, and nature is sustainable. Nature evolves. Nature is pragmatic, is physical. It handles parameters and issues of nature and life and keeps the world running. I think that in the last years, the word economia, as it is being taught in the top universities of the world, has started being confused with financial engineering and instrumentation that creates profit. The question is that economia? Can we dry out a general term which is defining the way the world works into a very minuscule issue, which how we can create profit? I wanted to say that, not talking about big gods things, when Mr. Ford was designing his cars, he had a dream. He had a dream to make cars for the people to move around. And the McDonald's, when he was designing his hamburger, had a dream to make the people not hungry. And Versace to make the ladies more beautiful. The big creators of the world, they had a dream to give to the world and make the world a better world. And the banking system, the financial system, was the supporting mechanism to make this dream come true. The money were moving around the world for international transactions. The banks were securing the stability of values around the world and parities of the money. So the banking system was a supporting mechanism to a creative effort of physical creation, a result of inspiration and love. And that is how the world has grown. With dreams, creation, physical delivery of goods, and a banking system which was supporting this joint social creativity driven by those who had the big dream. The question is the banking system working in this way now? I think we have experienced the Lehman collapse, which created not value added, did not try to make the world a better world, created an inflated financial instrument, a big balloon, which had no reflection to physical parameters, physical entities. And this collapsed. And actually, we have seen that in the financial system, what was designed to mitigate risks and create a hedging of the risk, I mean, these futures, these CPAs, these swaps, all the instruments which were used in international complex transactions, as the ones we make now in the globalized economy, instead of using these instruments for hedging, these instruments became the lord of economy, the lord of the financial system. They created an activity which is 3, 4, 5 times bigger than the physical economy, and this virtual economy is leading our world now and is dominating our world now. And actually, we had the experience of the Lehman collapse, and now I think in Europe and the world, and Greece is the spike of this, we are experiencing the metaseismic events of this major domination of virtual markets onto the life of people. Mr. Ambassador, since you are here, I'm a great believer and admirer of Mr. Obama. And what he said when he took over is that I hope that I will make our world to return to the values of our grandfathers. And I think that he meant, when he looked into the financial system which is opposing or dominating societies, the peoples of the world, prices of rice, prices of oil, prices of shipping, prices of ships, real estate or whatever, he meant, I think, that we need to dig down and go back into the physical parameters which lead the world and make the world a better world and sustainable. So this is an introduction about economy. This will lead us to what is happening in the market now. Then we can talk a few things about piracy, then a few things about a huge void in education, and then technology. So, markets. We went through this huge inflation of money. We went through this overheating of what we call economies, but not in the sense of this economy. Economies, big money moving around the world. This inflated the aspirations, inflated the expectations, inflated the profits, put some fire into the economies which moved fast. This led the shipping community, which is serving the world economies. What we do in shipping, we just serve something different. We transport the goods for the economies to run, for the people to eat, for the people to